Hey guys, my name is Matamio, and today I'm excited to say that DICE is now starting on their teamwork initiative for Battlefield 4 on the CTE servers. The first thing that makes me really excited about this news is that I think this 100% verifies that we're now going to be getting that big update, that big patch update that we've been waiting on for what feels like forever now, here in the very, very near future. Because DICE has been saying that the Teamwork Initiative isn't going to be part of this big update, and now that they're starting on said initiative, it leads me to believe, using my powers of deduction, that this update that we've been waiting on should be just directly around the corner. And while there hasn't been a confirmation on the part of DICE, they haven't given us a hard date or a release date yet, the fact that they've said that this patch is going to come in September, we're now in the middle of September, and they're starting on this new initiative, it's pretty safe to say that it's probably going to come out next week on Tuesday, or hopefully at least the next week after that. But as for the actual update itself, DICE is going to be busy. They've created a nice long laundry list of everything that they want to be adding into the game, or at least be tweaking here in the next couple of months. And a lot of it I'm really glad to see. That, like the UAV change, they're also going to be just making some nice adjustments to objective points and things like that. And so in general, this laundry list that we're going to be going through, in my opinion, is fantastic. The first thing that I'm really glad to see is that DICE is going to be cleaning up the voice callouts. You've probably had this happen to you all the time, where you'll kill an enemy, you wouldn't have realized that his buddy was just over in the next room, he wasn't spotted by any means, but then as you kill that first guy, his teammate just screams out that that player died, and then that lets you know exactly where he is. There was nothing that other player could have done, he was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, his soldiers screamed out, nothing he could do, and so then that basically doesn't necessarily give you a free kill, but it gives you more information that you probably shouldn't have gotten, and it's really frustrating when you're on the receiving end of it. And so if you've been in a situation where you randomly died, you weren't spotted, you weren't on the UAV or anything like that, but all of a sudden someone knows exactly where you were, it could have been contributed to this random voice callout system. And so what DICE is going to be doing to remove this problem is that you're no longer going to be having these random callouts if someone dies directly next to you. You'll still shout it out and your teammates will hear it, but the enemy won't be able to hear those. They'll still be the ones that you can initiate. So let's say, for example, you throw down an ammo bag and you scream out ammo here. The enemy and your teammates, both of them will be able to hear those because you controlled that situation. But at least the ones that are out of your hands, the ones that you have no control over, those are no longer going to be in the game. Personally, I think that this is fantastic. While it did add a nice level of immersion, when you were on the receiving end of it, it just sucked. Like, if you're trying to go for that stealthy playstyle, you're using the suppressor, you're using the right field upgrade path, as soon as someone dies next to you, you give out your position because of a random call out. That's fairly annoying. And so while I'm glad that they're keeping it in for your teammates will still be able to hear those callouts. I'm really glad that they've eliminated it for the enemies. The next thing that I'm really curious to learn about is that they are going to be tweaking the way that health and ammo packs work by changing their cooldowns while in combat, and also looking at how many points that they give. They haven't said if this is going to be a buff or a nerf, but I would imagine, because this is the teamwork initiative, that they're going to be buffing these bad boys. So maybe if you are in combat, you're in the thick of things, maybe you'll have a faster cooldown on your health pack, so you can put more of them down on the ground, get more of them down where it's needed, and maybe also reward more points for doing those types of things. I was a little surprised that this was in the update, because I just kind of assumed that these two gadgets were in a nice spot. I mean, I'm not going to complain if they buff both of them, because of course that initiates or helps out more teamwork, and so I'll be really curious to learn how they do approach these two particular gadgets. Another thing that I was just ecstatic to learn about is that they are going to be increasing the footstep sound of your enemies. And so as long as there aren't any huge explosions happening around you, because then you won't be able to hear them, but as long as you are in a nice long corridor, you know that some enemies are nearby, you should be able to pinpoint their footsteps or their location if you have a nice pair of headsets. This makes the game feel a little bit more competitive. You see this in Call of Duty, Counter-Strike, especially in Counter-Strike. Like, footsteps are a big deal in that game. And so while it's not going to be game-changing, fine. But if you are a little bit more observant, you are playing in a more competitive type of environment where maybe you're going 8 versus 8 for some rush or something like that. If you have a nice pair of headsets, this could give you the leg up even if the enemy isn't even on your minimap. I love this adjustment. I have played a lot of competitive shooters over the last couple of weeks, and so this is a very welcome change in my mind. The one thing that I was happy to learn about, but I know that some people might be a little upset by this, especially if you enjoy trolling your friends, is that you'll no longer be able to accidentally, air quotes accidentally, roadkill your teammates with a neutral vehicle. So you've probably had this happen to you where you will be running around and then one of your buddies will come up in one of his Jeeps, and at the very last second he'll jump out of said Jeep. The Jeep will act as a neutral vehicle. It will just act as an object, and as it runs over you, because he's not inside of it, you die, you'll get the killed in action, and it's just hilarious for everyone involved. I think the way that they're working around this is that as soon as you jump out of a Jeep or something like that, you'll still own it for a couple of seconds. So it will still act as if you are inside of it. It won't kill your teammate. It's not a neutral vehicle, and I think that's the way that they're handling or trying to get around this little troll tactic. Once again, I realize that some of you might be a little disappointed by this news because you enjoy messing with your friends every once in a while with this tactic. I think overall it's for the better. Like, I cannot tell you how many times I've died to my own Jeep. Like, my own Jeep just gets possessed. It does some random physics things as I jump out, and then it runs into me or it topples onto me and I die, and I get the nice kill in action. Never fun, always frustrated, and so yeah, no more trolling, or at least it's not going to be as easy. It might still be possible if the way that they've gone about it has only a short delay, or you only own it for a couple of seconds after you jump out. But in general, I think that this is going to alleviate some of the frustrating issues that can occur. But that is about all of the major changes that DICE has in store over the next couple of weeks. Over the next couple of months, though, they have a much larger scope on what they're going to be doing. They're going to be making some adjustments to the field upgrades. They're going to be trying to get more teamwork between squad leaders and the commander with some communication there. They're going to be making some adjustments to the commander UAV. I cannot wait to see what they do with that. You guys know my hate and disdain for that particular tool. They're going to try to facilitate teamwork with vehicles. A lot of great adjustments, and I cannot wait to see what DICE comes up with. But yeah, guys, that is about it for today's video. I just wanted to keep you in the loop as to what is going on with the CTE server. Hopefully, we are going to get that big update that we've all been waiting for here in the very near future. I've been waiting on it. I know that you guys have as well. But until tomorrow, have a good one and take it easy.